Peace to the family, peace to the family. Thank you for your patience. You see who's in the building. It's going to be on tonight. It's going to be on. I know it's Sunday night. A lot of people got to get ready for work tomorrow. So we're not going to be too long, but we are. Ooh, this is going to be powerful. This is going to be potent. Listen, family, as usual, get comfortable. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that we are live. Let me get to a quick commercial. Hey, without further ado, I gotta welcome back to the platform none other than Dr. Phil Valentine. Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you so much for your kind invitation and for you helping me to bless your platform once again. Your platform is legend, brother. I'm telling
Thank,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was just on the live with Blue and Red yesterday, and I
Ah,
was telling them we was talking about some of the legends within the community that came and that have been here and made an impact. And I was just saying, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now without y'all. So I want to thank you and everybody who was in your contemporaries and everybody who came before you for allowing me to occupy this space. And I promise to make the best out of this space. And I tell you, I'm gonna roll with you till the wheels fall off, Doc. And then when they fall off, we gonna get out and walk.
I walk. That's it.
We gonna
That's
get out
it.
and walk.
That's it.
Hey, family, listen. As we get started, and I gotta pin this in the chat. Let me show y'all something real quick. Y'all know Phil is this type of brother who his information is so potent that a lot of it gets banned. Let me find a link. Banned from the YouTube and the main platforms, and channels get suspended. So what the brother does is he has a safe place for people to come and learn and ask questions and get valuable information that can help us. And that's what he's doing next Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
14.
yeah, it's going down next Sunday. I see some of y'all already got your tickets. Phil, could you tell them real quick, my brother, about what's happening next Sunday as we get started?
Well, I would tell people to start getting their pads and pencils out. I'm going to be dropping a heck of a lot of material, and I have to clump it together because 2024 is going to be an unstable year. Unstable in that a lot of people are not going to be prepared for what they got going on. If you want to know what's going on, go back into your teachers, I mean, the brothers and sisters like this platform, and to go and check with everything that everybody was saying because everything will become relative in 2024. It's an 8 year, and this year, everything that's above will come below. Anything that's karmic will now hit. So if there are specific things that you see happening in the world today that looks like it's out of control, control is coming, but it's going to come at a kind of disruptive phase. It's going to come disrupting things that are complacent. So you have to be ready for amenities like electricity, like your food, your
Mm-hmm.
water. All these things have to be clear. Now, the enemy, and I call him the adversary, is now ratcheting up to 2030. And what happens is with Trump in there, he delayed it 4 years, so to speak. They have to catch up now, and so there's a specific thing coming in on the 30th, 2030, that solidifies whatever you're doing up to that point. So the so-called deep state has to get all of their agenda going. It has to be all in place. But because they're rushing, it's all shutting down. Things that they want to happen is like they're waiting for stuff to cook, but they're pulling it off the stove too soon. Now they wanted to get us on electrical cars and electrical trucks and all that, but the electricity is not available at the mass level that they want. So electric cars are breaking down. And nobody wants to buy an electric car anymore. And that's what I've been saying for the last 2-3 years. Don't deal with any cars, electric cars, because that's a trap. That's the deep state's trap. And I know there's a lot of people that may have an electrical car, but I would say to you, get yourself a good gas guzzler, or if you can find an old car that don't have any of the chips in it, it's going to be, I guess, old school is going to be the new school. And that's why I call it constructs of the new old order. Now, if you look at the way I'm breaking it down, who, what, when, where, and why, The who, what, when, where, and why is going to be somewhat tedious to people who don't have an attention span for listening, learning, taking notes, because we're such, instant gratification. We don't want to hear the minutia. We don't want to see what went into the plan. And that's why we keep getting fooled. We don't know who the enemy is. We don't know his tactics. We don't understand who he is and where he came from. So the who, what, when, where, and why is going to break down who it is that's behind the curtain and what they're going to do to try to enslave us or to get us deeper into the slavery we're already in. The how is going to tell you how they're going to do it and the countermeasures that you need to take. So the guy that you see sitting in the middle there, Klaus Schwab, he's saying he's the one with the mantra, you will own nothing and be happy. He's the one as the forerunner. His father was a Nazi. His father was into eugenics. In fact, the place where his father's factory was the center for German eugenics, which they learned from the United States of America. So for those of you who want to understand what's really going on and not listen to your so-called ABC, NBC, CBS to know what's going on behind the curtain, know that this is a PhD class. This is for you to sit and to know and to get put aside anything that you have to do, say a day before or right before it happens. Don't eat too heavily, sleep. If you want to stay up with me for the 8 to 10 hours, 11, sleep well the night before. Don't eat too heavily the night before or the day of. And just be ready to go to school like you ain't never been schooled before. And I'm not just blowing smoke and blowing bubbles. I'm doing this because you don't know the 2024, you may not be able to do this again. They may be shutting everybody down or at least causing great difficulty for this kind of message to get out because they know that too many people are prepared for what's getting ready to come and they're worried about that. So we got to get this information out to each other. And I was talking to a brother who is trying to raise some, if I may, Brother Rich, there is going to be a viewing for raising funds. It's going to be a fundraiser for a center. And they're going to be dealing with, at the so-called REFAL, REFAL headquarters at 269 South 9th Street, Newark, New Jersey. There is a donation, and I can't say what that is, but anybody who's out there listening to it, I don't have any telephone number. He didn't leave a telephone. Oh, yes, he did. 862-368-1819. Again, 862-368-1819. It's a fundraiser to maintain and keep the center open. The brother wants to maintain a conscious center. So I would ask that you at least assist and to support what the brother is doing with a viewing of my program. Give him permission to view my program and to raise the funds on that as well. All right. So that said, I'm open to anything that you're ready to deal with, beloved brother, whenever you're ready.
Indeed. We're gonna be on here for about an hour. I might take a couple of calls from the people in the chat as everybody gets ready for this dynamic presentation Phil is going to offer to us next Sunday. But just going to chop it up with Phil for a little while before then. Somebody in the chat was asking about the link. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So if you need the link to get tickets for next Sunday's webinar, it's pinned at the top of the chat. Phil, that website you was working on, what's the how's that coming along with all your
right? What's her name? My wife's sister is powerful. She made up. Well, you see all the sites we have. That's her.
Okay.
So what happened is she fell ill. She had gotten the flu, so that delayed it, and she had to go to the hospital, and so we had to chill for that for a little while. But we're going to see sometime by spring. We're going to get that up, and it's going to be called Webinar Archive. And Webinar Archive will have all of my webinars going back years, so that people can stream it for a nominal price, so we can maintain, food and so forth. Thank you, Cheryl.
Indeed. Yeah, Cheryl got her ticket. Cheryl is not playing. Somebody want to know what needs to be done to get ready? Just pen and pad, right?
What you need to do as far as to get ready to be done, uh, what you have to have is, first of all, stamina, and you're going to have a concentration, a type of an acumen for concentration and for taking notes. Okay. Now, I don't mind people taking private notes, but not private notes to exploit later on in such a way as to, do something with co-op, what is a kind of a small business for me and my wife. So we can, in our age, in our 70s, that we can chill and don't have to be going out to look for a job and stuff like that. So every time we do what we do, we ask for a nominal fee that's within the reach and the bounds. But the main thing is we don't mind. If you see something on the screen when I'm doing the program and you think that you need that, take a picture of it. I don't mind, for your own archive so that you could remember it. But jotting down notes and listening to what I have to say, because I'm doing a lot of reading. It took, I started this, you remember, I started this, Rich, back in October. That's when I began to put together this webinar, because of the type of research and what needs to be put together. I even drew from my book, Cosmic Codex, a lot of this stuff dealing with metaphysics towards the latter part of it. After I break down everybody who is involved in the deep state, I'm going to break down the deep metaphysics of the mind and how they're going to come after your mind, and what you need to do, what you need to understand and overstand about what your mind is about. So what they're getting ready to attack and how you can defend against that. So it's going to be heavy. It's going to be a lot of work. So sleep well the night before. Don't eat heavily. Have a lot of water to hydrate. Okay.
Excellent. Speaking of the mind, and I love when you teach us how to use the mind properly and defend our mind against things that happen in culture that that tries to brainwash us, on program us or whatever. They got all these methods, whether it's media, social media, entertainers or whatever. I want to ask you a question about the mind real quick, Doc, and you're the perfect person to ask in terms of affirmations, because one of the things that we are told in terms of reprogramming our mind is to say affirmations. And I'm thinking about it in a sense, Doc, where sometimes if I say I got a favorite food and the food does something to my body when I eat it, I love it. I mean, say macaroni is my favorite dish, but if I eat macaroni too consistently, it stops to have that effect and I don't enjoy it as much. Same thing if I have a favorite drink and so on and so forth. It doesn't affect the body the same. When I have an affirmation, Doc, and I say the same affirmation every day for 60 days, does it stop to become effective because I done said it so much and now my body doesn't respond the same to it, the same as my body didn't respond to the macaroni that used to be my favorite dish, Doc?
See, that's the thing about mantras. They dull the mind after a while.
And
your mind,
you said they dull.
They dull the mind after a
Wow.
while. What happens is repetition becomes tedious to the brain. The brain begins to lock down. It's almost like, have you ever had castor oil?
Yeah.
Right. Now, do you remember ever taking it too much to the point where even the smell of it would make you sick, or something that you can't deal with, that you said, I can't take any more of it because I'm going to throw it back up?
Yeah.
Right. Well, when the body becomes saturated, and for instance, if somebody is, taking in a particular material to deal with some kind of ailment, and if they take it too much, the body says, that's it. Specifically when it's drugs, I don't want any more. It's going to reject it because the body knows that whatever you're taking is inimical or dangerous to the body. So the body will cause you to revulse it. The same thing with the mind. If there's something is repetitious, you can put that into your subconscious, and the subconscious would automatically work for you. You don't need your mouth. In fact, when you interfere with the universe, you have to act like the mantra. If you're not acting like what you're actually saying and repeating, then the words become evaporated, because where it's coming from, the origins of the word is not doing what the word is saying.
Right.
See, so when the word is being spoken and you're putting affirmations in there, What you do is those affirmations are said in earnest with compassion, the same way that you feel the deep sense of love. You have to love the words that's coming out of your mouth. Once that happens, you let it go because the universe already has that template. If you keep repeating it during the times when you have emotional fluctuations, now you've tainted those mantras because your emotions are what's actually giving the thing life.
Right, right, right.
So when you pull back from that, what I used to do, I used to teach my students, you get yourself some distilled water with a crystal in it. And then what you do is you speak your mantra into the water, charge the water. And as the water evaporates, the mantra stays. It keeps going. Yeah.
And what the room you're in, you mean? Is
The
like
room you're in is actually speaking your mantra for you.
That's dope. Oh man, that's dope, Doc.
Yeah. And so what you do also, candles are pretty good, but you have to get an unscented, and you have to get one that doesn't have any paraffin in it. Right. And so what you do is you can actually oil the candle, and there's High John the Conqueror oil, or you can put one of the oils that you want to put on that oil. We used to do this back when I had the center. And what you do is you write your affirmation in the candle.
In the candle?
And as the candle burns, your affirmation is filling your atmosphere.
Oh.
Yeah.
You said that before? I don't.
No. That's why when we used to do the Agnihotra, people used to come every New Year's. We used to burn the Agnihotra under my giant pyramid in the living room. And I used to deal with the candles and teach people how to deal with the candle. I did candle magic so I was dealing with sorcery.
Doc, man, when you gonna teach that again, man? Come on, Doc.
I need the atmosphere to do that. You can't just teach it over like this. You have to have people with you. You got to be out in the woods. That's where my OBR man taught me. You can't do magic that's natural in an unnatural environment. It doesn't work. Concrete always messes with it.
Doc, I got an idea. I got to talk to you about it. Something I wanted to implement. You just said something. I'll call you tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it. I got a big idea. I want to run by you. Big idea. I want to run by you. So we're gonna talk about it. Let me ask you this. So a lot of people with 2024, it being an 8-year, a lot of people bring up the word karma. Depending on who you talk to in the spiritual community, you'll get a different definition of karma. And I'm sure me and you have discussed this before, but I would love for you to discuss it today, being that, well, they say we're in the year of karma. A lot of people are waiting for the elites to get karma, but yet a lot of people say that the elites won't get karma because they don't believe in karma.
Because
they do get rid of their karma. So tell us a little bit about karma. What exactly is karma from your research?
The elite definitely believe in karma. They know karma. You know why? Because they keep telling you what they're getting ready to do, and that's why they are leaving karma behind. They are not actually messing with the universal forces. They understand. They study. This is what metaphysics is about. Understanding the universal forces and what the universal forces mean. You are a creator of your own condition. Even if you convince hundreds of people, thousands, millions of people to go along with your idea, and they latch on to that idea, then they've latched on and supported your own karmic return. So what the Europeans did to the Indians is to deal with the Varna system or the color system, and told them after they conquered them, these are the Brahmins who always walk around with the orange in there. They are essentially they are from the Khazar and Ashkenazi tribal area of the Caucasoid Mountains. They're the same. They conquered the black Mohenjo-daro people, the Harappan people of India, and pushed them further south. So the true Indians are really black, coal black, and came out of Kush. So what they had a thing about karma, knowing that for every action there's a reaction, and when that reaction comes back to you, you are feeding the universe with purpose. So the universe runs on purpose. All right. So if you are purposefully doing something, like causing somebody else misery, You're going outside of the balance that the Creator created you to cause, because you are the Creator folded over onto itself to be greater than itself within this realm. You are here to spiritualize matter. If you are here caught up in matter, then you are here fighting for something that's temporal and finite. What is infinite is love.
Right.
What transcends anything you do physically is the love, the universe. You are in the universal power when you act within the universal power. But if you act to stay within the temporal zone, then the temporal zone always has a kickback for your actions. Now, so no matter what you do, you can lose the body, but you never lose the soul once you are locked in. You never lose the spirit. You can lose the soul, or you can cause the soul to become trapped. But what you are doing is you're locking into universal law. So these guys, these maggots, they know how to get around the law. You know what a lawyer is? A lawyer is there to lie for you.
Weasel around the law.
Right. Yeah. So just call the deep state the lawyers of spirit.
Powerful.
See, and they're the ones who know how to navigate around the law.
Powerful. I like that.
Wow. So we can defeat them. We have to have the stamina to do that. Yeah. And we have to have the wherewithal to survive what they're going to do. But we're always being tested because you chose to come at this time.
Right. That wow, you say some profound things. This is why, family, I want everybody to make sure they sign up for this webinar next Sunday. Once again, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. We got about 2,700 people here. Some of y'all just came in, so let me just tell you real quick. Doc is having a webinar next Sunday, and a lot of the things he wants to talk about, obviously, because of their agenda, the censorship won't allow it to be on certain platforms. So I definitely want all of y'all to join Doc next Sunday, the 14th at 2 p.m. He has a powerful presentation. The brother has been, I think, I haven't seen Doc work on a presentation this long in a while. So I know this is going to be one for the records, and make sure y'all there next Sunday. It's going to be super powerful. Let me ask you this, Doc. You talking about, the things you used to do when you had the center. Every time you tell me, I mean, it's just magnificent things. That's why I'm like, I got to run something by you tomorrow. I got an idea. But let me ask you this. In terms of meditation, sometimes I have these thoughts, Doc, but I don't have nobody to ask. Then you come and I'm like, aha, I can ask Doc. He got the answer to damn near everything in the universe. So let me ask you this, Doc. All right, say I'm meditating, right? I'm trying to sit. I'm attempting to stay still my body. And in the process of me stealing my body, Doc, I get this magnificent idea. Now, this magnificent idea makes me want to move because I don't want to forget it. So sometimes I get caught between, Doc, do I move to jot down this magnificent idea so I won't forget it, or to try to tap into this magnificent idea, or do I stay still? So it's like the idea versus stillness. And I'll be having to pick, and I'll be knowing what to pick sometimes. So sometimes I just move, but then every time I move, I'm not still no more, Doc. So what's your thoughts on that happening to me continuously?
Okay, so you're going into meditation to achieve something, something tangible that you could put down on paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're dealing with a form of meditation, which is essentially a kind of shopping. You're shopping. Okay. You're shopping the universe. Ooh. Okay. So what happens is you get yourself a tape recorder. And you sit it beside you like I used to. That's how I wrote my books. And when you go into your deep meditation, remember, you have to enter your mind. You can't go in there with a purpose.
Right.
And when you don't go in there with a purpose, there are creative thoughts that are waiting to let you know what's going on in your mind and in the universe. But what happens is we get in the way of those thoughts because we got so much crap we got going on during the day. We got little aches and pains.
Yeah.
We got hunger pangs. All the things that our physical avatar is telling us pay attention to.
Right.
So what I used to do, and I tell people to do, before you get into any deep meditation, take an enema